Great to have you along with us here at the Weather Network. I'm meteorologist Kelly Sonnenberg. A little bit of an overcast start to the day for the city of Ottawa. Yesterday felt more like fall, got up to 17 degrees. Today, though, temperatures returning back to seasonal. Our developing stories we are working on for Tuesday. Carol, we'll talk about that in just a second. But first, I want to take you to British Columbia, where, of course, we still have our wildfires that are currently burning. And as of today, currently, total area that has burned by the wildfires, 372,000, or just over. And this area in the pink kind of shows you how big of an area that is. And unfortunately, weather-wise, no real diminishing to those wildfire threat, because we're still going to see a dry period for central and southern portions of the province. So that is going to be a concern. A little bit of dry lightning will be a concern as well this week, as a few weak troughs move in Wednesday into Thursday. Let's talk about the low, though, that brought in that active weather across portions of the prairies yesterday. Strong, gusty northwesterly winds impacting portions of Saskatchewan, Manitoba as well. And as we take a look at the future radar, you can see these thunderstorms really going to start to spin over the Inner Lake region. That's going to impact northwestern Ontario through the afternoon and evening hours. Isolated severe threat in through that area. Even an isolated tornado cannot be ruled out in the Inner Lake region as we head into this afternoon and evening. And then this is a look at our risk area for tomorrow, for this afternoon and evening. So that will be something that we'll have to continue to watch. I want to send things over to Chris Murphy now with our top videos of the day. All right, thanks for that, Chris. Now, taking a look at forecast temperatures across the west this afternoon, Edmonton 24, finally getting back up to seasonal after yesterday only getting up to about 15 degrees. Meanwhile, across eastern Canada, temperatures a little bit chilly across Atlantic Canada. Okay. Welcome back to the Weather Network. We are going to get to some of your share your weather photos and your forecast details. But first, here's your opportunity. Become a weather member. We'd love to hear your input. You can join the roundtable here at the Weather Network. And if you register, you have a chance to win a $250 prize. So here's your opportunity. Log on to the Weather Network and do hashtag TV, TWNroundtable.com/TV. Time now to share your weather. And we're going to start you off with some stormy looking skies in Prince Edward Island. Quite a bit of lightning off in the distance. Some light showers today expected across portions of the Maritimes, Newfoundland, Prince Edward Island. Not really expecting any thunderstorms, but just some light showers. Where we really do need those showers in the rain, southern British Columbia, Osoyoos, British Columbia, very dry. You can see not even a cloud in the sky. Still have those wildfires that are currently burning. Some ominous looking skies in Olds, Alberta. Yeah, we've got a bit of a rain curtain off in the distance. This is a bit of a shelf cloud as well. Leading edge of a thunderstorm, you know that strong winds are right on your doorstep. You want to be heading indoors, and especially when you're seeing scenes like this, Lloydminster, right on the Alberta-Saskatchewan border as well. You can see it looks like that cloud is coming right directly towards us. Of course, we were in storm watch earlier because of the significant rain that fell in eastern Ontario and southern Quebec, Kingston, Ontario. You can see people doing a little bit of stand-up paddleboarding in a bit of a parking lot here. That's because over 100 millimeters of rain fell in such a short period of time. Kingston usually sees for the entire month of July only about 64 millimeters. And then we go from the stormy looking skies in Prince Edward Island to a beautiful sunset off in the distance here. Nova Scotia as well, beautiful weather you can see. Now let's talk about the winds, though, across portions of Saskatchewan, Manitoba. This is where we have the risk for potentially wind gusts getting up to about 80 to 90 kilometers an hour, northwesterly winds. And then we have the risk for some thunderstorms across northwestern Ontario. Slight chance for potentially some thunderstorms across interior British Columbia. I want to send things over to Chrissy Van with an update on the British Columbia forecast. Welcome back to the Weather Network. Systems across the country for Tuesday, July 25th. Active weather in place across Manitoba, northwestern Ontario as this cold front slices through some warm, moist air. Across the east, this low just tracking off the coast of Nova Scotia. It's going to bring in some light showers, especially across the Avalon as well. Meanwhile, in the west, we've got high pressure building in. A beautiful couple days in store for Alberta, Saskatchewan, and British Columbia. I want to send things over to Chrissy Van right now. She has a story on plastic-free July. Alrighty, and as we wrap up July, can you believe it? We are already headed into August, into next week. Let's take a look at the remainder of this week, though. We do have a bit of a trough that's going to swing across northern portions of British Columbia, Alberta, bring in some light showers down towards the south, though. That heat really starting to build in for southern Alberta, Saskatchewan, after a coolish couple of days for Edmonton yesterday, only getting up into the high teens. Really no major systems across the west, as you can see, and temperatures quite comfortable, either seasonal or a little bit above. So as you can see, Thursday, 31 for Regina, and then into Friday by the end of the week getting into 32. The slight chance for some thunderstorms, but overall a fairly dry 7 days. Perfect weather as we head in towards the weekend as well. The same goes for Vancouver. Of course, we really do need the rain. Chrissy was showing some photos and videos on her social media a couple days ago on how crispy and dry and brown the grass is downtown Vancouver. Yes, so we need the rain there. Across the east, we've been seeing a little bit more rain. Of course, eastern Ontario seeing over 100 millimeters of rainfall in the Kingston area yesterday morning. Active weather slowly coming to an end, and as we look ahead towards the weekend across southern Ontario, finally a rain-free weekend for portions of cottage country in southern Ontario and potentially some light showers into Halifax. You can see more right now coming up in your local forecast. Well, a very happy Tuesday to you. I'm meteorologist Kelly Sonnenberg. Not a bad start to the day in the city of Ottawa. We're going to see that sunshine return. Temperatures, though, still a touch below seasonal. Our developing stories we are talking about here at the Weather Network. Today, we'll talk about that in just a second. But first, provincial state of emergency still in place for the province of British Columbia as those wildfires continue to burn. Winds today and kind of the weather impacting the wildfires. Winds are fairly calm today. There may be some locally gustier winds through some of the valleys, but overall not too bad. Rainfall, unfortunately, still remaining dry down towards the south. Up towards the north, though, a little bit more activity. I want to send things over to Chris Murphy with our top videos. And risk for thunderstorms across northwestern Ontario today. Below seasonal temperatures across southern Ontario and Atlantic Canada. You can see more coming up in your local forecast. But first, I want to send things over to Nathan Coleman. All right, thanks for that, Nate. Now let's take a look at systems across the country. As you can see, fairly quiet in the west. We've got a line of thunderstorms that moved across northwestern Ontario this morning. Expect them again today, again into the afternoon and evening, and some light showers across eastern Ontario or eastern Canada, I should say. Not only showers, but coolish weather in place across Newfoundland, the Maritimes as well. That's going to be sticking around for us the next couple of days. Northwestern Ontario, again, this is a look at our future radar. So we're going to see a line of thunderstorms push across extreme northwestern Ontario through the afternoon and evening, even through the interlake regions of Manitoba. We could see some stronger thunderstorms develop. Can't rule out an isolated tornado or two. Dynamics do look to be a little bit more favorable there. So we have put on isolated severe for the risk for those developing into the afternoon and evening. Stronger winds across Saskatchewan and Manitoba, and temperatures warming up across southern portions of the prairies. I want to send things over to Chris Murphy right now. He has an update on that temperature trend. And as of this morning, 128 wildfires continue to burn across the province of British Columbia. To date, 445 wildfires have impacted the province of British Columbia, and that has burned over 370,000 hectares. And this area in the pink just gives you an idea of how vast that size really is. Now, we still do have special air quality statements in place for interior regions of the province. Really no measurable rain in the next 7 days down towards the south. The grass down in the lower mainland, Vancouver, very crispy, very brown and dry. A little bit of rain up towards the north. Now, conditions across the west, you can see finally warming up across Alberta, Saskatchewan. A nice stretch of weather expected there. Some active weather impacting portions of Manitoba. Isolated tornado not out of the question. And northwestern Ontario. And temperatures still a touch below seasonal with the chance for some light showers across the Avalon and portions of Nova Scotia for this afternoon. Coming up, we've got your local forecast and... All right, let's take a look ahead towards the final weekend of July. Can you believe it? And it's going to be feeling like the end of July if you live in southern portions of the prairies into northwestern Ontario, where the heat really starts to build. Temperatures getting into the high 20s, low 30s. Winnipeg on Friday, forecast high of 30 degrees. A closer look at the Great Lakes, and you can see northwestern Ontario, especially extreme northern Manitoba, is well warmer than places in southern Ontario. Ottawa only getting up to 22. So to end the work week, temperatures are a touch below seasonal for residents in southern Ontario, Quebec. Systems across the country for Friday as well. No major systems. We've got some scattered showers to deal with across Newfoundland, the Maritimes. A weak low across the northern prairies, bringing in some light showers. This high pressure, because we've got that clockwise spin around it, strong southerly flow, that's really helping to pump in that heat across northwestern Ontario and portions of Manitoba. Now, systems across eastern Canada, we do have one that's going to be moving in for early Saturday. Models still struggling on where to exactly place this low, but if it does track into southern portions of the Maritimes, we could be dealing with a significant amount of rain to start off your Saturday morning across Prince Edward Island, Nova Scotia. That'll eventually move into Newfoundland. We could be looking at over 40 or 50 millimeters of rain. So something we'll have to watch for the start of the weekend. Meanwhile, high pressure building in for the weekend for the Great Lakes. Temperatures on Saturday pretty comfortable in the city of Toronto, 26 degrees. Across the Maritimes, again, Halifax, we've got the rain in your forecast, something to keep an eye on. And then showers will eventually move into the Avalon as well. Conditions on Sunday, beautiful weather in southern Ontario, Quebec City as well, 28 degrees, Timmins as well. So that high pressure really locks into place over the weekend for the Great Lakes. Meanwhile, Western Canada, still a fairly dry forecast. Temperatures are still close to seasonal or a little bit above. That heat is still into place. And as we take a look at systems, no real systems in the forecast through the weekend.